Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
It's time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
All right, welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 608, just for Trevor. Today is June 4th, 2025. I am one of your hosts, Kyle.
I'm another one of your hosts, Dustin.
And I am Cowtown Tony.
And everyone else is sick. I would say Kelly and Dave are... Well, Dave didn't actually respond. So Kelly's sick. Adriel, he's got that hopium fever thinking that the Oilers are actually going to win a cup.
And Dave's just playing hooky, and
Yes.
we'll assume.
Didn't they win one like not too long ago?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
They went into the playoff last
They've been
time.
in the finals a few times.
I know almost nothing about hockey, but I know Canada hasn't won that stupid
No.
cup in a long time.
Yeah, and I don't think we will.
What's this
It's not
What's
for
this
lack of
we?
skill. I'll just put it this way. It's not for lack of skill.
I would know.
That's a bad look for the elbows up moment, but yeah.
Oh, no, we put those elbows down right after the election, Tony.
No more chicken wing shooting?
Now it's
No.
thumbs up.
Elbows down, thumbs up.
All right, well, why don't we get into what we did with guns? And Tony, why don't you kick us off?
Sounds good. So repeat, a mysterious stranger from last week wrote an email that's oddly similar for me. I didn't really do much this week, but just to mention again, I had a great day with the A22. This guy, A22 FVSR, threaded barrel, not used for anything at the moment. Made in Canada, come with a rail. This is actually the first outing with it. Was the 6 MOA Vortex Defender CCW on it. This is before the Defender ST and SXL were available, but it is a more open dot in comparison to the, the Spark 2 I had on this before. And it is 6 MOA, so that's a lot better for steel challenge shooting.
Nice.
Surprisingly, I didn't even expect it. It felt pretty good. And I was shooting this ammo. I don't know if I recommend it just because it's awfully overpriced if it's not on sale. But the Norma TAC 22 designed for semi-auto does seem to work pretty well. Only in the summer times because it's very waxy, and in the winter times it doesn't work. So...
Well, also, Tony, like when you're recommending 22 ammo, that's so gun specific. You could buy 5 guns that are all identical, and like 3 of them will like it, and 2 of them will just not.
Adriel is asking if I will use the A22. I'll get to that about why that's a debate even. Do I have extendo mags? Yes. Do I want to run the extendo mags? No.
Why not?
It's a very, like now the normal ammo is weather dependent. If you are using the banana mags, it's even more weather dependent. Generally what I found that works really well is very waxy ammo in blazing hot day where like all the wax are kind of liquidy. And then the extendo mags really work pretty okay. But
I know a good fix for this.
Build a different gun.
No, well, yes, but in the immediate, while you're waiting for your parts to arrive, get better ammo.
What should I try?
Everything. Buy boxes of everything. No, seriously.
Yeah.
Go buy
I know,
it.
but
Like 22 is so cheap. You could buy a little box of like CCI. You could buy Blazer. You could buy all sorts of different.
So Tony, the logic is is even if that gun doesn't like it, you don't need to like shoot all of it. Like you go buy yourself like a 50 round pack of something, you're gonna know if the gun likes it or not. And if you don't want to shoot the rest of it, stick it in a box or a can and wait for the next 22 that you buy and test that in there. I have at least 10 different brands of 1022 or of 22 ammo downstairs that
Well, that's the thing though, because with this gun, I tested a few different types of ammo. On some days it runs just fine, on some days it don't. So if I test it on a particular day and then on match day, this is why I don't like rimfire stuff, because they're so picky about it. It's like, ugh, on a 9mm, I go crank ammo on my Loadmaster and then it will just run.
what I'm hearing is you need to spend more time in different shooting conditions with your 22s so that you can like figure out those variables like, okay, this ammo with this gun at this temperature or this weather, dynamics. It's like, I hope you're keeping track of like the weather if your gun's that fussy.
I think it's more temperature related. Well, Alberta's usually pretty dry. It's not like we're shooting a lot of wet days, but the match is within a month, so do I really have time to deal with all that? Also, there's a restricted capacity division. I'll just shoot that. So I'll be showing up with my 14-round loaded pump action shotgun and 10 round in my A22. Or,
As a Canadian living in a country that has magazine restrictions on most things, I think it is your duty that if you are legally able, you shoot with the most capacity mags that you can.
Yes.
I don't see a lot of GSG 16 and 15s running out there with the 110 drums. Just saying.
Okay,
saying.
Yeah, but that's not a good example. Those guns are okay at the best of times, and like
A drum mag it can be finicky, and you are taking a risk with the drum mag.
Yep.
I'll just go visit Kyle and use a proper D60. That's solve the problem. Done. And no feeding problems. Yeah, and I did actually pretty well on Steel Challenge. I improved somehow on every single stage. While I haven't shot Rimfire Division Steel Challenge in like a year.
Wow.
So that's kind of surprising.
You've been shooting though. So.
I've been shooting, not much though. I think the last match I shot was October. That was a. What did I shoot that? That was I guess that was actually on the A22.
You've done some shotgun matches.
I did some shotgun matches, so I guess maybe long gun skills isn't as forgettable, so to speak.
And the more pistol you shoot, I think if you yes, they're different platforms, but if you're shooting a bunch of pistol, just with your eyes and transitioning, that's gonna relate over to your long gun.
Translate over a bit. Yeah, I didn't shoot much pistol either. It's just I think there was like a few matches, like maybe 3 after like August, where like fall is starting to happen and matches started to taper off into winter, and then the OIC number 2 came out, so I didn't really shoot that much after that, except shotguns, I guess, is the only thing. And I did mention I'm in the process of building a new 22, and since Adriel is not on here, there's going to be a research show coming up pretty soon that I will share some of my findings, and there also Adriel can showcase some of his already done builds, and I might be able to take some experience from that. So, also a slight remodeling. That the gun save is gone, but the gun rack will remain here, so it will be easier for me to showcase guns in the future.
I like the rack.
Yeah. No stickers though. That's kind of lame. I'm thinking if I will put some patches over here just to go into blank spaces.
Get a patch wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have my guns leaning up there. I should really get a rack just for I have a gun rack, but we use it for all of our Guitar Hero controllers downstairs. So.
Well, okay, let's go to Dustin then, since you're on the screen. I was trying to show the guns leaning up against the posters.
Well, I didn't mean to talk over you. Are you done?
Yep, I'm done.
All right. All right. I mean, regrettably, even though I wasn't on last week, I haven't done like a ton with guns. I've been pretty focused on my truck. My truck had some problems. But I did clean a couple of guns, which was good. It was from my trip with the roommates a few weeks back. And I did, as a little treat to myself, once I got my truck fixed, I went out and shot my 22 in the bush just for a little plinking therapy. And yeah, my Maple Seed 1022 is a laser beam, and it is just never not a delight to shoot. Spent a bunch, so I was saving some money. I didn't know what gun I was gonna buy. I've had my eye on a few, and I've been sort of saving money for that, as you know, funds are a little tighter than they used to be. And I spent a bunch of that money on truck repairs, which hurt, but I have a functional vehicle again, which is good after spending an entire weekend under it. Did have to do a little bit of gunsmithing. One of my roommates has this CZ over under, and
Oh,
it was to be in the kitchen, with the half of his gun and this little piece, this little tiny piece of metal, and he's like, "Is this part of the firing pin?" I pulled the trigger a couple of times, and it made a weird noise, and this bit fell out,
and it flew.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, that definitely looks like a piece of the firing pin. So we open that up and rip it out and get him set up with getting a new one. So that was fun, and
Wolverine Supplies is the warranty center for CZ shotguns in Canada. So
yeah,
they'll get you sorted, no problem. You should just send it in.
It's a $15 part, right?
A firing pin.
Yeah, I'm not going to send we're not sending.
I saw
this the country for a firing pin.
I saw this started broken, but in reality, you only need to send a receiver and trigger group. You don't need to send the barrels to them.
I can change a firing pin in an over-under, Tony.
No. I said I thought it started out broken, so you should have just sent the whole thing instead.
No. It was a functional gun, and it decided to
rapidly decompose,
disassemble itself. Unscheduled disassembly. But so we'll fix that. Opened it up, took the rest of the firing pin out, and let him start the process of getting in touch with the right folks, and just kind of point him in the right direction, because I wasn't going to do all the work for him. But why not? So that was kind of fun. I haven't put my gunsmithing hat on for a second. I'm still waiting to hear back about my my ATF 6 NIA 6 form, or 6 NIA.
I saw they responded to you on the first time pretty quickly.
They did. But I don't know. It's been 2 weeks. I'm hoping to hear back soon, because it's been about 2 weeks since I sent the revision in, and usually it takes a couple weeks for them to process those. So, fingers crossed. I still have a couple of months before our trip, so it's not like it's an emergency or anything. But a couple more weeks, maybe I'll reach out to them, just see where things are at with it. But yeah, I honestly haven't done a whole lot more than that. A little bit of hopium, and a little bit of something we'll talk about in the main topic, just in regards to keeping folks' spirits up. But and like I said, a little hopium, and we'll talk about that in the news. But that's all I did. What about you, Kyle? What'd you get up to?
Same. Not a whole lot. I'm busy transition at work, but I did pick up the AR-10 lower that came in.
Ooh.
And so I got that all put together.
Nice. Oh.
So we got it without buttstock, but with the buffer tube, because I had this MBA 3 stock sitting here. It came with your standard just
A2
grip. Yeah, A2 grip. So I was deciding between black or tan, and Gage decided that tan was needed.
Yeah, agreed.
So, and of course, upper receivers don't come with charging handles, so we had this one kicking around.
Really? It came with a grip but not charging handle? Interesting.
Actually, a lot of them aren't coming with bolt carriers either.
Really?
Yep. Because their mentality on it is
you're gonna get a match set
anyways. So
yeah, make it cheaper. Put whatever you're gonna put in it.
Well, then just leave the grip off too. Why?
Well, because you need that to keep your springs in safety, which a lot of it doesn't necessarily make sense. But because when I'm looking at stuff like that, it's like, okay, just sell me the upper. I will change stuff at my leisure.
Yep.
But I want a complete. When you say a complete upper, I want it to be able to
run,
slap it on a receiver.
Slap it on a lower and shoot.
Yeah.
So also put my Timney AR-10 trigger in there.
Nice.
not a Kelvin Elite.
They don't make a Kelvin Elite for AR-10.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
So this is 4 pounds, but it's still nice short reset. And I had gone with the skeletonized trigger because I like it.
Very fancy.
Well, it's got to look different, right? I know that it's custom. And then I had one of their 49er safeties, so I threw that on as well.
Like that.
So yeah, now I just need an optic for it.
What are you thinking?
Apex.
Well, Apex, yeah.
Of course.
Gotta be Apex.
They have an LPVO, I remember.
Yeah, 1 to 10 edge.
There you go. Done.
But that's on my competition rifle. So I'm
Get another
actually-
one.
Thing is, this is 308. So
You want some more range.
exactly. I'm thinking of the Hunter actually.
Ah.
So that's a 3 to 15 power. It's got more of their PRS style reticle. Got a nice middle ground, and because if I actually make it out hunting while I'm here, I might take this out hunting. And
Did you hunt last year or no?
I didn't make it out. I did get a tag last year, but I never made it out for my 4-day season.
What
4 days.
So
that's like federally.
That's what I got for my mule deer tag, and it just didn't happen. I didn't put in for any draws this year, so it'll be like 4 Barbary sheep, some turkey in the fall maybe.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
I just find like I've been getting so busy that setting aside time, especially for a 4-day season, is just all that time and everything for 4 days.
Does it cover the weekend?
Yeah, like you have a 4-day stretch when you get some of these tags.
Huh. Maybe you should involve yourself in like muzzle loading. And I don't know. I don't think Western.
It's still a draw here.
Whoa, really? Huh.
Oh yeah, the hunting here in New Mexico is a lot different than we're used to.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot different, and like the draw system is a lottery. It's not priority points. It's not like, oh, okay, I know in a year or two I'm going to draw this tag and I will have a month, 2 months to make it happen. No, it's I might get drawn or I might never get drawn.
Right.
And like a lot of seasons are like 4 days.
Yeah.
I did not know New Mexico was like that.
Well, it's just like
Interesting.
Think about the environment. The game, the amount of game is so much different than we have in like BC or Alberta, right? Like,
right, but
yeah, I mean they got some good elk hunting here.
fair.
But everyone wants to go after that.
Yeah.
So even to get into a good area, like that's one of those that quite possibly if you choose your area wrong, you could like never get drawn for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta look at your draw odds, everything, and yeah. That and like the area I got drawn for last year after I drew for it, guys were telling me, oh, that is an extremely difficult zone to hunt. So
already you're like,
yeah. I like spending time in the bush, but there's no bush where I drew, so it's not even like hanging out in the bush. It's just mountain desert, nothing.
Right. Hoping to see something.
And
Glassing.
my son Twitch commented, it happened to fall on my wife's birthday.
That'll do it.
There was another reason for that as well.
Yep.
that's not happening then.
Well, you guys didn't go out hunting together?
That's true.
No. We will. Like she really wants to do turkey hunting. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Stay very quiet, make some noises.
And like where I want to go, it's close by and it's over the counter. So
Nice.
Awesome.
So maybe we'll make it out for that here this fall.
Have you ever done a turkey hunt? Because I know
No.
Alberta is very limited in that
Alberta,
regard.
yeah, I've never even put in for turkey because of And it's all like up around like Hinton, Grand Prairie. There's no turkey up there. I would have had to
No,
go
I
to
think it's
southern
only like
Alberta.
southeast, like Medicine Hat, Lethbridge kind of spot. And I
Yeah.
think it's only that too.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd like to, just like I'd like to do sandhill crane and some dove hunting.
I would love to do a turkey hunt.
Does BC not have it?
I don't know. I've never explored
I don't recall.
it here. I mean, probably. I don't know. I don't know where there would be turkeys up here. I know they're supposed to be ornery, but I really want to. I want to shoot a turkey in the face.
Which is the correct way to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Debating on selling my PCC as well.
What?
Yeah. It just,
Already? Just because the world is over?
yeah, that's exactly why. I just can't take it anymore. Everything's gone. No, I don't know. I probably won't, but I don't see myself shooting it. And like, I either got to do a ton of tuning with it, or I sell it and then get something that that I'm trying to make it run like.
JP5.
So I'm either I don't know when it'll happen, but either JP5 or even the Mean Arms one that they did with Unrivaled, the Mall.
Okay, so you're
So that would be the upper that I can just throw on the lower of my normal competition rifle.
right.
So
you're not getting out of PCC. You're
No.
just thinking about selling your built PCC for something that's been
Yeah.
built in the way that
and
you
it
want.
will be unbuilt a certain amount like that.
Yeah.
Well, I got the AR Pro trigger in there, so that's not going with it. And but
Well, you gotta.
I'd even sell it with the shield buffer system. I mean, the longevity of the springs on that shield buffer system, I was not thrilled with. Like, if you mess up like I did and leave it with a chamber flag in there, like I usually leave all my rifles.
Oh, really?
And so basically you leave that in there, you go, and like the memory on them is brutal.
Wow. That's funny because back to the episode we talked about what I did, people don't know that there are a lot of film cameras out there which they're sprung and wind up for like 40, 50 years because it was an old camera. No one uses them anymore. It's just in a corner. And supposedly, spring does not degrade from being compressed. They degrade from being cycled. So that would be really odd.
Yeah, well, I just think that they're a low grade spring, because if you have a low grade spring, yeah, it will have memory.
Yeah, it will have a memory effect to it.
And so just from being compressed, like it's obvious because it ran fine. I picked it up the next time. It's like, that didn't seem right. And I ended up pulling out the buffer. Like, that's a lot easier than it should have. And yeah, no, like I'm already on my second or third set of springs on that.
That's no good.
Yeah, you've not been shooting PCC that much.
I haven't touched it since sectionals back in like October. But like it was like shortly after sectionals, I think I did shoot it at a club match, and it just was not right. So yeah, it's either get together with Andy. I know he's got some spark parts and whatnot, and just play around trying to get it run, or buy what I want to get it to run like. So yeah, I'm debating on that. Nothing's happening right away, but I'm debating on that.
I do understand for you,
I don't
three
like
gun is
guns.
really the main sport. So in
Well,
the
it is.
sense for US competitors, like if you're not shooting PCC at USPSA, you kind of like, it doesn't quite fit into a regular arsenal rotation, because three gun, you practice your AR, you practice your pistol, you practice your shotgun, and that's kind of the rotation you're always going with. PCC doesn't quite fit in that role.
Well, I mean, PCC could, because I mean, you're shooting a long gun, so transitioning, getting your motion for transitioning a long gun and driving the gun, it will transfer over the recoil impulse and the weight of it, unless you build it like identical. Isn't
Right.
Like I don't think you're ever going to get the recoil impulse to be the same. But yeah, it's just like I said, it's something I'm debating on. I don't want to sell it, but on the same token, it's just sitting there, and especially if I buy something different, it's not going to get used.
That's
It
fair.
will sit there, and if I can sell that and use those funds towards something else gun related, or even a trip gun related, so we'll see.
That makes
See
sense.
what I end up doing.
I was about to get all offended that you were getting out of PCC because it's my favorite. But
PCC is fun. I like playing that. It's fun.
fair.
But we gotta get something that just stays the same all the time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Let's get into upcoming events.
Yes.
Maple Seeds, Kelly and Adriel aren't on.
I see there is events coming up June 8th, Rocky Rod and Gun Club in Alberta. June 14th in Rockville District Fish and Game, Ontario. 21st and 22nd, Stittsville, Ontario. And 28th, one in Havelock Sportsman Club in New Brunswick. And one in Ontario Blue Ridge Sportsman Club.
Ooh.
Okay.
So quite a few coming up.
Awesome. So that you go to mapleseedrifleman.com. You can register and find a Maple Seed close to you. Coming up on July 12th and 13th, the Apex Rocky Mountain Challenge. It's a 2-day qualifier match that Apex Optics is putting on, and I know that they're going to have a bunch of the team doing ROing and helping staff the match. And so just go to Apex's site, and that's where they have a link to register. Last week there was like 70 spots left. And actually in a couple weeks we're going to have Vanya on to talk about that match as well. And
Cannot wait.
so, and I got to apologize to him because I realized after the show last week I screwed up on pronouncing his name. I don't know why or how, but yeah. Moving on, Ontario Rifle Association, they got I know they're doing events throughout the year. So if you go to OntarioRifleAssociation.ca, you can see their calendar, look for their matches, and I think they might even put their training days up there.
Looks like they have 2 championships coming up. ORA Annual Provincial Championship on the 15th. That's August 15th, sorry. And then on the same month, on the 18th, Canadian Full Bore Rifle Championship. On the
Awesome.
18th to 24th. Oh, quite a few days too.
Okay. And good chance to see Dave out at those ones as well.
Yeah.
3-gun matches. You can find whatever 3-gun matches are going on at 3gun.ca. Notables that I know about is this weekend at for Mighty Peace 3-gun up in Peace River. They have another 2-day event going on. Cost is $80. They basically, supper Saturday and pancake breakfast Sunday included. They're going to do 6 stages on Saturday and 4 on Sunday to give people traveling a chance to get home at a decent time.
That's awesome.
So, sounds like that's what Peace River's doing this year, and I think that's to get their numbers up. They're not doing single-day matches. They're just doing multi-day matches.
Yeah.
Which, hey, cool. That gives the people from Edmonton, Wainwright, Calgary.
Yeah.
It makes it worthwhile for them to travel up for the match.
Well, and if they're doing supper and breakfast too, like, okay, 2 of your meals are taken care of. $80 for a multi-day match. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh, yeah. And you can camp right on site. First come, first serve for receptacles. And they have a bunch of, they have a few 15 amp receptacles and whatnot. So
Nice.
yeah, but yeah, camping is encouraged because there's always the fire out in the evenings and everything.
Yep.
And another one this weekend, if you can't make it to Peace River or you don't shoot 3-gun, is National Range Day. So find your local range, find whatever range is doing something near you for National Range Day, and go enjoy the sport of shooting.
I miss every National Range Day, as I said. It is my partner's birthday weekend, and that takes priority.
Exactly. That means National Range Day on Saturday, because it's always going to be Saturday. Well, actually,
it's the first Saturday of June every year.
yeah, first Saturday of June. So last year it wasn't. Last year it was on the 1st.
Yeah, we're celebrating the birthday on the Saturday. I'm sure having that discussion. Can we change? Can we reschedule your birthday around
To
my?
Sunday,
Do
right?
day at the range, and then whatever supper evening shenanigans afterwards.
Fair. I have I have a pretty good romantic day planned for the Saturday, so we're gonna have a nice time. But yeah, everybody should go out and support National Range Day. It's important and growing.
We'll move on to the news. There was a shooting in North York last night. And I didn't read the articles. Somebody posted up an article. Maybe give us a rundown on it.
I think one person is pronounced dead, unfortunately, and four or was it five more that's injured.
Mostly non-critical. It was a targeted shooting.
It's a targeted shooting, but there's the let's let Dustin read the quote.
Oh my gosh. So Pastor Delroy Sherman said the shooting should be a wake-up call to tighten gun laws in this country. I love it. I love it when people who know absolutely nothing about what the gun laws are in their country demand tighter gun laws after something like this happens.
Yeah.
And I believe the police said there's 3 potential suspects. All of them are armed. So
yeah, it's always really interesting. Like right after this thing happened, where the cops are like, "Yep, there's been 6 people shot. Regrettably, 1 person has died. Most other people are non-critical, and the public does not need to be concerned." Like, okay,
I am concerned, but
well, it happened in a back. It happened in a back alley. Like it sounds like something shady went on. It doesn't. It's not your typical, thing. But though the media did call it a mass shooting because it technically
mass shooting,
criteria,
right?
But anyway, and then unfortunately for anybody that has been paying attention in the last several hours, the Liberal throne speech has unfortunately passed. There is no election part 2. For anybody that doesn't know what was going on earlier today, the NDP got a little feisty and said, "We are not going to vote confidence during the throne speech," and obviously the Conservatives would be willing to not vote confidence in the government either. So I'm going to guess the Bloc probably carried the day. The Liberals only needed a couple of extra votes, so I'm not really shocked. The Bloc did promise them a year before they'd flip the government. So, but still, it was kind of fun and interesting seeing people go all crazy on social media for a minute. Like we might have another election. We're not going to have another election. Anyway,
I didn't think it was going to happen.
No, there was a 5% chance was the number I gave it. So
yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much all the news we saw this week. New gun stuff. Tony's put a couple more YouTube videos in here.
So the first one is a experiment video, was the beet eaters. I would have to say it's not that scientific, so I wouldn't take too much from it. It's really lacking data sets. I think they tested a 30-30, 308, 6.5, 300 Win Mag, and they shot a 50 for good measure. But they're not really shooting a lot of the flat nose guns, 357 mag, 44, 450 Bushmaster, 350 Legends. That's where the traditional shoot through the bush idea came from, so to speak. But I do want to highlight it for showing how not a lot of obstructions in between you and the game could deviate your shot pretty significantly. So double check or reconsider before you pull the trigger. Maybe you'll be a better hunting outcome.
I mean, better not to shoot through, brush, but I like to have a clean line of sight for what I'm shooting at and behind it.
But what if it's a 12-point buck?
But what if there is someone behind that 12-point buck and you can't see them because you're shooting blindly into the bush?
It's ethical hunting.
Yep.
I at a grouse, yes, I will shoot my shotgun through the brush at a grouse.
Yeah.
At a big game animal, not even get into the seeing around and everything else, because it doesn't matter if it's clear view or not. In the bush, it is going to be hard to see. You're doing the best you can to see if there's something behind. My thing is, okay, yeah, you've shot this gun through the bush, or yeah, you think you can make it through there. But you hit that branch, like a really good entanglement. The chance of wounding that animal and now
You're
chasing.
running off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Which
mess
I
you
don't
don't
think
want.
many hunters are actually like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna shoot through this. It's just a little bit of brush. I'll shoot through that. I don't know many hunters, and don't hear of many hunters taking those shots.
Not good
I'm
hunters.
thinking because we're in the Western continent, there isn't as much like trees in comparison to maybe the Midwest. It would maybe be a more, I don't know, more common practice. I don't know. Not sure.
It's good to get that out again
Definitely.
and more like actually show, hey, look how far it deviated. So
Absolutely. I just posted one here that we've got to talk about after. Tony, you should, if you're going to keep posting these YouTube videos, you should screen cap a couple of these things so we can at least show some images for folks. You got something to share.
Maybe, yeah. I post them on our Discord server though, so you'll be able to
Okay.
see them links.
Hey,
The second one is a lot more scientific by MDT, and it's testing how damaged a bullet is, more from a precision shooting perspective, not quite like your case have a punch, or like, how do you say, you like nicked your bullet cartridge casing right in the middle. Is it going to blow up on you? It's more for, is it going to affect accuracy? TLDR is, it doesn't matter as maybe FUD lore make us believe. Like regular handling of the ammo is okay. Dropping the bullet off the bench when you're reloading is pretty much okay. If you're on a prop and you've for some reason dropped your cartridges off the platform, that's okay. If you have excessively shaked your ammo in the ammo box, that seems to be okay. But the thing they tested that's really not good is if you broke the tip off of your polymer tip bullets, that does seem to have a pretty dramatic effect on that. I'll post that, of course, onto our
believe that.
Discord server as well. And I see that Dustin has posted a few things. Let me try to share my screen.
it was just the one, and it was mostly, it popped into my head because it was relevant. It was one of my local gun groups here. Somebody posted this. It's an American link for everybody, but it's 4570 ammo. Take a look at it though. 777 grains.
I saw that.
I know, right?
Maybe the
You're-
biggest I've seen.
Yeah, you're slinging something bigger than a 50 cal, and it's set up for subsonic. It's tuned for suppressor use, which is great. And it's I can't imagine anything surviving being hit by that.
it's basically looking at that like a 4570 wad cutter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. A 780 grain wad cutter.
Define. People keep saying 4570 is a fridge flying through the air. Define a fridge flying through the air. There's your answer.
There it is. So
Just a chunk.
just given the relevance of what flies through the bush better, like, well, a fridge flying through the bush might not have too many. If ever there were something.
Golly, I did not realize how long it is. Holy crap.
That
Where does
is
the
one
powder go?
Well,
What
it's
the-
subsonic. It's like 900
Yeah.
feet per second.
It's not actually moving that
Golly.
fast.
It's
Yeah.
literally as long as the brass.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Whoa.
Are those? That's the thing. Are those compressed loads?
Oh, they might be. Yeah. I don't know. I'm certainly curious to try one, but it's $40 for 10.
Yeah. Well, yeah, $4 a round.
Yeah, that's.
Well, can you get the bullets themselves?
I might have to in one of my.
Are they turned lead?
No, they. Oh no way.
No,
I
it
didn't
must
even
be
look at that.
extruded.
I don't know. That's on a lathe right now.
Well, it's cast somehow, and then
Cast, and then are they?
Maybe
milling it
they're-
after? I don't know. Yeah,
there's your
Oh.
comparison against 9mm, I guess.
It's 1.5 times the size of a 9mm.
Complete cartridge, by the
Yes,
way.
complete cartridge. And
literally
that's
the
just the
size of your
40. That's just this projectile.
That's just a
For
projectile.
those not seeing what we're putting up on the screen here.
Well, it's not keyholing.
Nope,
Okay.
not at 100 yards. Not even,
150. Yeah, that's out of a SBL.
although, yeah, that's
150. I don't know what the point of aim
I'm
is.
actually
That's
interested. The 50 to 100 yard drop looks greater than the 100 to 158 yard drop.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I might have to get my hands on some of these when I do like a more local trip with some friends, and because like I put my Marlin, my 4570 on my list of approved to take to America guns. So once I do have that, I might have to do a little experimentation.
Yeah.
It's like, $40. That's why not? Anyway,
that's also
impressive.
high tech coated, so it's not lubed.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's a 780 grain cylinder. Well, basically rod
It's a
flying
rod.
through the air.
It's a
I don't
rod.
think any lube or anything's gonna help that.
No. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that, and it felt relevant given. Yeah.
Golly, I saw someone mention that like 600 hardcast was like the biggest commercially available projectile you can get. I guess.
If you're hearing this and you want to get yourself some 780 grain 4570 subsonic rounds, the manufacturer is Steinel, Steinel,
and they're not.
and see who's going to import it for you into Canada.
Yep, they're not a small manufacturer, to be honest. They get honorable mention from Ian McCollum, Forgotten Weapons, because they make some of the odd, like surplus European stuff.
Yeah. They make some cool ammo.
Yeah, they make some cool, interesting ammo for sure.
All right, we got a few more here. Tony, do you got them linked up and ready to go?
Yep. So, I think.
Good.
Bats 888, a YouTube channel, has a review of the Akdas sporting rifle available. It is in 223, and Crusader Arms has made a chassis kit, stock kit, conversion kit, no, whatever. It's
Why
like,
don't you know what they need to call this? They need to call this the piss off poly kit. That's what this is. Like, that is actually what this is. We've taken a black gun with a bunch of wood on it, and we've made it scary.
Yeah. Very interesting. I guess it's kind of similar to the back in the day SKS chassis kind of idea.
In the day, you still do that.
Sure. I just haven't seen one being shot for a bit.
I don't get SKS vibes from that, but okay.
No. I get like, that's
Space gun.
You're changing the furniture. It's got a buttstock, a handguard, and a grip.
Yeah,
that's all. That's it.
Looks like AR
the
grip
handguard,
compatible.
changing the handguard or the buttstock, sorry, does make it so that you can put a pistol grip versus your classic wood stock on that.
Yep.
I mean, and I love how they send it with just your standard cheap, crappy A2 grip
For $500.
Exactly.
To put a decent grip in there, it's not going to cost much extra.
No. Like,
Well,
literally any Magpul grip. Any Magpul grip will be better.
to me, it seems to be that the insult is somehow less if they just included nothing for the same price and save them the $5.
So this is one part that I will 100% say, if you're not going to include a decent grip with it, like even just like a cheap MOE grip from Magpul, leave it out.
Yeah, and save the $20.
Nobody is using that grip. Everybody that buys a gun with that has a pile of them, if either in the garbage or if they're like me, they don't like throwing out parts because, hey, you never know, somebody might need something cheap put together. They sit in a drawer.
Yep.
They never get used, or a Dremel happens and they take off that finger.
I don't know why they still do the finger groups. But here's a thing that Kyle just reminded me, it will not fit, appears to be, I'm not sure, but it appears to not fit a beaver tail grip. So be mindful of
WKs are the
that.
same.
I think the Gen
WKs won't-
2s
yeah,
did.
WKs don't take a beaver grip or a beaver tail grip either. So that's not a big deal. I don't care.
No,
about
I'm
that. It's
just saying, I don't think that, no, it's not a big deal. It's just, I think the grip angle is going to be a little interesting too. It's more vertical.
But somebody
it is kind of canted back, isn't it?
a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to the TM22, I think, where like the mounting surface isn't square with the gun, like how an AR would be designed, but
I'm just looking now. Is there a way to? So that's a folding stock. Yes. Yeah, that's
yes,
a folding
ACR style. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I was just looking to see if it like removed in what mounting style, if it was something that you could change out to a different buttstock, but as long as you have that adapter plate, but probably not. It's probably a proprietary hinge system on that.
Which is also too bad. I mean, again, that's a missed opportunity.
It is what it is.
Yeah, fair. I'm as somebody who also, along with like a box of those stupid A2 grips, I do have another box of stocks that it would be lovely to put on something. So
It's cool. It is cool. I mean, $500 you get a buttstock and a handguard.
Yep.
That's pretty good. So
And you get all your QD for your slings, so you can shoot a maple seed with it.
Yeah, somebody posted like 3-gun. Oh yeah, it's that video. 3-gun is back. Like,
It's kind of funny though.
all right, what else we got?
We have the
Oh yes,
M-Lock
yeah.
C climb grip, vertical grip, revolving shotgun.
I just want to puke at this.
I bet Dustin loves this right now.
I bounced,
$799 from
bounced-
Tactical Import TR410.
I bounce back and forth between loving this and hating it, and I don't know where I live on it.
Okay, you know what? From the trigger group forward,
Yep,
I like it.
agreed.
It's
Yeah.
behind the trigger grip that just
Everything.
makes me want to puke.
Yeah,
So you wanted to have a traditional stock.
no,
I just
not
wanted
that.
to have a nice looking stock and grip.
Yeah, I'm with you actually. I think the like you said, everything behind the trigger group is actually what I have a problem with. Like if I just look from the pistol grip forward, that gun looks cool, and then that stock doesn't.
It should be standard buffer tube though. No?
It doesn't look.
Not for sale to the USA.
Well, no, it's too short. It's an SBR.
Yeah, it's an SBS.
Correct.
Or yeah, stock
SBS.
would be SBS. Yeah.
Yeah, but
The stop telescopes doesn't. This?
Yeah, it's got. Yeah, you can see the lever for adjusting it. That
I'm just thinking if it's gonna
it's
be
an option.
buffer tube.
I mean, not everybody has to like everything, but there's a possibility to change that stock out if it's that. Looks like it might be your standard style of buffer tube where you might be able to get.
It doesn't say,
are
but
we
it does have a hunting plug kit.
oh, good. Yeah, so we can go hunt with it. Let's plug up a couple of the chambers and.
Oh my god, that's like what? How do you set it
What do
up?
you mean? It's not semi-auto.
Well, to waterfowl.
Dual action.
Waterfowl, you still just
Yeah.
need,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, the 2 rounds, right? I think even putting a different stock on that though, I really question if we're not just putting lipstick on a pig.
Well, I agree. I think it non-adjustable, more like the tactical lever actions that have been
Yeah.
teased.
Steel shot rated and
Like a
takes.
skeletonized, classic-looking
Yeah.
stock. That's the best I can describe it.
Yep, I agree. I think I'm right there with you.
You know, if you had that and like lose the pistol grip, do the skeletonized metal frame, classic form of stock, I think you'd have it because like pistol grip. That just doesn't look right. But we're
Like
not shopping
this?
for that gun right now.
It's anyway.
Honestly, that would be better.
Yeah, that would
so
make it feel
more of a
cooler.
traditional stock
Yeah.
style.
Yeah, but,
Plus,
but it looks modern, right? Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I also I like the idea of that too. I do the same thing because it's a 410 anyway, so you could put your little sleeve for like 6 extra rounds there, just like that extra little. I don't know, it'd look cool. You could make that gun look cooler than it does.
you could, yeah.
Somebody
So
get on it.
For the listeners, we're looking at the Magpul ELG enhanced lever gun stock. I think is how it's called. Yeah, so that's more
Not bad.
acceptable.
Yeah, not bad.
Anyway,
But
what's the last
What
one?
was
Takes-
the barrel length on that?
Uh,
Was that a 12-inch or something?
Maybe less.
9.4 in
Yeah.
length.
9.4. Okay.
Three-
Yeah, 27 overall. So
Yep, and then
Yeah.
it does take interchangeable chokes, so you can take it to your local trap and ski club.
Yeah. You know what?
shoot a 9-inch 410 barrel for
Anybody.
That would be
Why not?
entertaining. That
If
would be
anybody,
entertaining.
if anybody brought this to a trap and skeet club, and beyond the fact that they would get asked to leave immediately,
Yeah.
but the second they uncrated that, I want to be there for the head turns when you unbox it, and if you manage to light off a round before someone asks you not so politely to get out of there.
I will
You know
give a shout out right here to AHIA, the Calgary range, south of Calgary. They will let you shoot it.
Really?
Yep.
Hey, cool. Awesome.
We sh-
I like Wapiti, they had a thing if it didn't fit in the gun rack, you couldn't shoot it.
Yep.
But hey, no, cool that they're doing it. I know we've been kind of crapping on this gun, but if somebody likes it, hey, all the power to you. I think it is cool.
It is.
Half of it looks gross, but it is cool. And yeah, I mean, heck, why not?
Yep.
What's the last one we got here?
It's a very golden EG
this
Arms,
one.
the mini rabbit ear side lever, double barrel side by side. It's kind of interesting. It's very cute because it's 410, and it's very gold as well. So
Tell me
very
that he's
fancy.
not tell me that it doesn't look like he just loaded live ammo into that gun,
yeah,
right?
I thought
Like
the
that's
exact same
America,
thing.
and those don't look like dummies.
Yeah. That's cool. All right. So
All right.
that is, well, everything we found in New Gun Stuff. It is a rather interesting time to be in Canada in the new gun realm. There is some definite interesting stuff. And to go along with that theme, it seems, in New Gun Stuff, we figured our main topic would be, how do you stay motivated to be a gun enthusiast, a competitor, anything of the sort in the gun world in the current climate that is Canada?
It's a real question. So, like I was saying before the show, I was hanging out with one of my former roommates, and he's big gun nut too. Shocker, one of my friends. But and I was talking with him like, hey, we should plan to go shoot guns again. We haven't done that in a while together, and he's super apathetic about it. Very, very much like I don't even know how motivated I feel. Most of my stuff's banned. I only have like 2 things I get to use, and I'm like, oh, you have more than 2 things. He's like, yeah, well, my handguns don't count, and very, very. I think there's a lot of folks still feeling really defeated, and obviously, like, we thought the uphill battle was almost over. It's not. Shocker. And the question, like, how do any of us manage to keep the faith, as it were? How do you stay positive? How do you stay engaged? I mean, Kyle, it's a little bit easier for you.
Well, here's an interesting thing. So, like, I mean, we were dealing with this before I moved down here, but even down here, I have to sit here, remind myself, wait a minute, I don't have to deal with that.
Yep.
Because I feel it down here when we go over this stuff. I feel it down here, like, man, oh man, like, wait a minute, no, I don't have to deal with that. So even though I don't, it still affects me. So I mean, I can only feel for all my friends and everybody that are still in Canada trying to do it, and it is a legit question. How do you stay motivated? How do you get the gumption to find something that you can shoot, to go shoot a competition or something? And really, if I were to give like one recommendation, because I was there, it was before things got even worse. Because if I was up there right now, I honestly don't know how hard I would be trying to stay in 3-gun. I think I've said that before. Like,
Yep.
There are a bunch of divisions coming out and people trying to make it viable and fun, not just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I will shout out Peace River because I think they're doing phenomenal with it. Steve came down for Superstition and he's bringing ideas from Superstition, trying to recreate the stages. I know there's one stage this weekend that it's got activators everywhere and activators activating activators, and really, really going to town on the stage design stuff that Peace River, Steve's been running that for years. You guys get tired, but he came down here, saw some new stuff, and instantly he's up there trying, reinvigorating it. And so if I were to have a suggestion, go to a match.
Yeah. Find
the gear, borrow the gear, whatever. We had 3 guys sharing one rifle even down here in the States. If you have to borrow guns, whatever, go shoot a match, because when you shoot that match, you're going to remember why you're doing this. It's not the guns, it's the people.
You're 100. I keep talking over you.
Oh, it's all right.
you're 100% right. It is right. It's the camaraderie. That's what's fun about it. That's what was fun about it in the first place, right? Like, shooting guns is fun. Getting really good at it is fun. But there is a level of community and camaraderie, and I think you're right. I think that's the thing to lean on right now. Like, again, doing a 2-day 3-gun match involving some camping and some fire and some just like good times around like-minded folks might actually be the medicine for the ailment that is.
And okay, maybe you're not going to spend thousands of dollars to build like the top 22 or get yourself an M1 Garand and race that out or that stuff. But that's where, okay, it's not to the point where it used to be, where even just in Canada, 3 out of 4 weekends a month, well, in Western Canada at least, you could be shooting a 3-gun match.
Yeah.
It's not that way. It's like once a month. Some months you have 2, because Chaz is still doing monthly. You're still in that Western Canada area. Oh, we forgot one piece of news.
Oh.
Summer Brutality did not have the registrants, so both the Ontario, the East and the West matches got canceled. Apparently, if you're in the West match, you got free entry to a training course or something. But we're on the topic, and it's like, and that comes down to, that was a very specific match.
Yeah,
and that comes down to buying the rifle, because I don't know, I don't follow that crowd enough to know what, if anything, was being able to be done to adjust to the laws. It sucks to see a match not go forward. It doesn't matter what match, what I think of the match, or whatever, or what anyone thinks. Seeing a match canceled sucks.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you guys talked about that last week or not.
No, we didn't.
That was sad.
But on to what I was saying, I'm not suggesting you go spend thousands of dollars. That's tough, because every time, last few years we've done that, you turn around and, oh, yeah, the stuff I just bought just got banned. Oh, the stuff I just bought just got banned. But there are, at least for the foreseeable future, I think there are some safe sports out there.
Yep.
And there are companies like, okay, we want to talk EPSIC. I know there's companies working on rentals, loaners. There's enough shooters with enough pistols already that I'm sure you can find a loaner to go shoot EPSIC.
Yep.
It's tougher one to get into, but at least there's one gun you got to worry about, not 2 or 3. PRS is blowing up.
Yep.
Whether it's rimfire PRS or straight up full bore PRS, it's blowing up. You still got your clay sports. trap, skeet, sporting clays. Yeah, we like to call them FUD. They're fun. Like, yeah, matches are expensive, but they're fun. They're a good time.
Well, and even if you do want to, do the 3-gun thing, this is the second month in a row I'm not going to get to do a match for the same reason. The only match in my area this month is the same weekend as Canada Range Day, the same weekend as my partner's birthday, so I will not be going again. I'm actually feeling that withdrawal at this point. Like, I really would love to go shoot with some of those folks, but I think about, like, for myself, I'm like, okay, great, you banned the last of my semi-auto rifles. So I just made my own, like, that kit for that Glock. I realize not everybody has an extra Glock to go throw in a frame in a kit, but that thing cost a couple $100. And if I shared it with a couple of other people, it's not like it would just be me that could then have not a great semi-auto platform, but a semi-auto platform that I can shoulder and shoot. And, I don't know. I think that there are ways, but you're right. I think the key to the medicine is go out to a match in something, shoot something.
Yeah, I don't think going out and plinking
No.
is going to do it.
No,
go out to a match. I just had a thought. It's a perfect year to get into sporting clays. Get your shotgun out, whether it's your old pump action 870, whatever you have. Go shoot some sporting clays, because Worlds is in Canada this year. It's in August at Wapiti Shooters Club. They're hosting Worlds this year. So, and it's open registration. They're not going to turn you away. So you get to try out a new sport and go shoot in a world championship. There are not many world championships that you don't have to qualify for to go shoot in.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, so there's an option right there. And it's a lot physically, it's easier than 3-gun action shooting. I found it a physical break, but you're still thinking it's still obviously a challenge.
Yes.
It's a different type of challenge, and it is great fun. And same thing with those matches. You stay at the range. There's usually, especially at Wapiti, that's an entire event. So yeah, no, that's my thinking. Tony, you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I want to echo the whole attend the events thing, but also for match directors, I think they should still keep on pushing out events where possible. Maybe not huge events where people are driving in, but smaller events. And if the club or if you or if some of the match attendees have extra gear, if possible, we would hope that you can offer them to have newer people coming in, borrowing them. And I think match diversity and creativity is really going to be challenged for this situation. For example, IPSC shotgun shooting traditionally like shotgun in a very different way. Action shotgun haven't really taken off in Canada.
Well, no, because action shot. Sorry, I cut you off, Tony.
No, go ahead.
Well, action shotgun is one of the most purchase intensive sports to get into.
That is true, but
because a lot of people they go get Mr. Mike's holster or the holster that your gun came with. Oh, a couple mag pouches. Oh, throw them in pockets. Same thing with rifle. Shotgun. Pretty much you need caddies. Whether you buy cheap Alibaba ones, you get the Invictus ones if you can find them, or the Tatcom, or you buy the Gucci ones. You got to buy that. Then you got to buy an extension for your shotgun, and then you got to do work for it if you're going to load. So to be competitive or even think of being competitive, it is intensive. You can pick up your Glock 17 completely bone stock and go in and with that gun have a chance of winning the competition.
Yes,
that's true, but you can still have some fun if you have a bandolier. Yes,
you can still have fun, but I'm talking more on the competitive side of things. But you do bring up a good point. You don't have to be competitive or looking to win to go to these. And I think I like that one idea you brought up with smaller events, little turkey shoots or poker runs or whatever. Even small local. It doesn't have to be this totally big grand competition. Just a local gathering where, there's a competitive aspect to it. I think that makes any gathering fun, more fun than, oh, we're gonna stand on the line and just plink. Throw some competition in there. That really brings out the fun in that event.
Yeah, push each other where you have competitors who are similar in a score range. It's like, I'm gonna get you today. Like smaller, very popular for BTSA at least. A smaller like league weekend kind of event, one day, Saturday or Sunday, and just okay, we're gonna do this once a month, or if we can do it twice a month, that'll be great. And we come out, we set up some shotgun stages. It doesn't really matter what gear you have. Have a bandolier, have a belt. If you have the caddies, rent the caddies. Give you all your division options. If you have a shotgun that's have optics, great. If you don't, whatever. And have some fun, shoot some guns. And I know Rimfire has been a great development in BTSA as well, Rimfire Precision events. Also, since we're traditionally a Steel Challenge club, we also have Rimfire speed shoots. I haven't really seen like Rimfire IPSC, like mini rifle stuff in Alberta yet, but I'm expecting that to maybe happen a little bit as well.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be. And maybe build a new gun, have some fun with it. You don't have to get into the sport. I think like taking a look at what other people have, borrowing some gear if possible. That'd be a great way to start it, just to have a feel for it. It's like, okay, this is actually something I'm interested in, and then invest in it later. I think that's also a good way. You don't want to, buy a $300 gun here, another $300 gun there. And you tried all the things, and you found what you wanted, but then you have to waste all the guns that you got previously. That's not like you bought three $300 guns you're not completely satisfied with. Instead, you should probably pull all the money together and build the gun you want and you need for competition. I think that might be a tip.
I think that there's still an element. So like again, I'm thinking about, my friend who's not necessarily into competition shooting. Like he wanted to get into competition shooting. Just every time he turned around, something else that he was going to use got banned.
He has pistols though.
A couple
it's
times,
like such an exclusive club right now.
No, I understand, and but I think that there's an element. So like I think you guys hit on a really, really important point. Like going out to a match is huge, especially for anybody that does already have some level of competition shooting under their belt. Going out to a match is going to reinvigorate that. It's going to, because you're going to be around people that, make you feel good about this thing, right? Because like for better or for worse, we spent the last 5 years just being beat down at every turn and told we're the devil. But and it's hard to get told you're the devil for that long by everybody in power and not start to think it. But I'm also thinking about folks that like guns and were interested, or still like maybe like there's still that spark, but how to encourage that spark. And so like I think another important part is inviting folks out to those things, right? Like keeping not just the faith, but if you want to keep a thing alive, I think it's almost imperative for all of us, for anybody who does any element of that, to bring someone.
Like more so now than ever, even if and now's a great time for it because of what you guys are saying. Like if there's enough clubs out there, and like I think like every one of our gun clubs has, have their own little like sub clubs and stuff where they can host little sub events where, so you've got 20 guys in that sub club, maybe 5-6 guys want to get together twice a month to go shoot this thing. Add just an element of competition to it, just to make it fun, just to encourage a little competition. And if you could open up that to new folks, and if every one of those 5 guys who is going to go out on that Wednesday night and go shoot that thing brings a buddy who was into guns, maybe he doesn't have the thing that he needs. Like, especially if you're talking like action shotgun, great. Yeah. Someone new isn't going to have a bunch of shot caddies and that's fine. But if you've got some of that stuff and you're in this environment of, it's competition, but it's not really like we're, these scores aren't going anywhere. They're not going to hold them against you when you go, when you want to try for worlds. Like that's not a,
a thing. It's just kind of for fun. So I do think that there is an added responsibility for any of us if we care about this for real. And I'm trying to like remember this myself, that bringing out other folks who are feeling even more beat down than we are is probably the most important thing for in my mind. I don't know.
Oh, I agree.
And right now is a great opportunity, right? National Range Day is coming up this weekend. So like talk to your friend groups and whatever. Hey, there's this thing happening at my club. For example, PTSA, we do have an open house and National Range Day happening for us. So if you are free that day, there's no really big commitment. You just have to drive out here. It's free. You can take a barbecue on for the go, and you don't have to stay too long if you're not interested. If you're interested, you can stay the whole day.
Yeah. No, I mean that's absolutely right, Tony. Like everybody, if you've got a friend who is feeling, just wrecked about this whole thing, or maybe you are, go out to find a National Range Day. They call it National Range Day for a reason. There's something going on everywhere. And like go do that. Go get yourself just get that energy up a little bit, because being surrounded by all of those folks who also enjoy this, who also like don't feel like you're the devil and understand that this isn't this is a good thing. It's a fun thing. It's not a bad thing. That by itself, it's like all of the like mental conditioning stuff, right? It's the same stuff as if you're going to go shoot a competition and you have to have that mental component, or else you're, the wheels are going to fall off. It's the exact same.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I don't know. I find myself wallowing in that. Obviously, anybody that's listened to me rant knows that I'm done with this country, but I still am stuck here. So and it's real easy to get into that negative space. But
I don't think it's limited to just like what's going on in politics and everything. Like, yeah, that's got a lot to do. But for some people, they're tired. Like,
yeah.
I know there's guys out there that just don't shoot anymore because they just so many competitions, and there's match directors that's like put on so many matches and they're done. They're tired. And this is just icing on the cake that why would I even go out of my way to do it anymore? I just find something else. And I mean, I can understand that. I've gotten tired myself, but it's like you go out to a match and that's what I'm saying. That reminds you why. Yeah, you want to do good, but ultimately it's the people, it's that squad you're with and the people you're shooting with. That's what makes it.
Yeah, you got two kinds of folks that, there's the folks that like, okay, I'm tired, but I'm still going to go out and do this. I'm not going to let this beat me down. And then there's the other group that, go and get into RC planes.
Oh.
I couldn't help it. Love you, Trevor. But
in his defense, he is getting.
He still shoots, though.
I know he does. That's why the dig was so funny, and it was loving and lighthearted, not mean. Trevor will always be able to shoot better than I probably ever will. So that's. He's an easy target. But yeah, I think you guys are right. I think it comes down to that. Go out and shoot a match, get that social, bring a friend, find that thing. But I do think like anybody that is a member of a club, especially if you're a member of a sub club, like I think trying to knock down some barriers might be the time to knock down some barriers and make it a little easier too. Like some of those sub clubs, I understand why we have a lot of rules. I understand that some of those rules are even good rules. Not always. And I feel like if we made it as easy as possible to bring a friend, that might be helpful.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Just kind of talking out my butt, but I think if you are a member of one of those clubs, and especially if you're a member of a sub club, you guys have something that you like, if there's a couple of you, get together, find a way to make a competition out of it on a Wednesday night. Just find a way to score something, find a way to make it fun for points, and there doesn't need to be any prizes at the end of it. Like just make it for fun, make it for bragging rights, and make it easy to bring a friend.
Yep.
And on that note, from Dustin, I want to say, like, if you are interested, definitely reach out to your clubs if to sign up to be volunteers, to lead events, to be a match director. And sometimes it's just, oh, did this series of events went away because the match director is no longer interested. So there's no one who took his round, so it just went away. And sometimes
if
you
someone's
do
willing
need
to step up right now and do that, kudos, awesome, amazing.
Yeah, that takes a whole bunch of extra effort.
Yeah.
And also, like, obviously, we all know that this sport has, while it's never been more contentious, it's also never been more expensive. So, like, there is that aspect too. So, if you can come up with a way to make whatever game you're playing inexpensive, that isn't a bad thing either, right?
Yeah.
I know that that's a big limiting factor for folks. Like, I take people out shooting, and I don't usually take money. Like, I'd love to take some money from them. Ammo's very expensive, but I do try to make it as affordable as possible. But, you know, if you can subsidize that a little bit for folks too, awesome. You know, or maybe like if you're gonna bring a buddy, be like, hey, yeah, let's split a half case of ammo. Like, yeah, $100 for 9 mil. It's not bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we all came to a good
Really
consensus on that.
Straightforward conclusion, right? Yeah.
So just to bring it all together, if you're feeling down, like every gun owner in Canada is, go out, find a local event. I won't even say competition. Find a local event with a group of people, and you will remember why you enjoy this lifestyle.
So true. They like it's not going to matter where you go. You find those folks. Gun folk are just kind of generally awesome and fun to be around. You know,
And maybe you find a new sport that you didn't think of before because there was tons of action shooting or whatever around, and you find a new sport that, hey, this is kind of fun, a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Yep. And for anybody that is in a privileged position, maybe you own a bunch of handguns, or you still own one of the like 3 semi-auto rifles that aren't banned, share it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Share it. If you've got the money to buy an extra one, do that. Loan it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not everybody's completely broke. Just most people are.
Yeah. So yeah, with that, let's move on to listener feedback. We had Montana reach out and say, hey, Dustin, you're on Facebook. And we do have an email. I think this is due to, once again, we failed to get the video up at a prompt time. So Eddie had emailed asking where it was, and then he sent an email. So Dustin, do you feel like reading an email tonight?
Gladly. This is the one that's up. Yeah, from Edmund. All right. Hi, guys and gal. Found this article interesting. Seems like police bungled this one badly. Hard to believe they wouldn't proceed with searching the vehicle based on a Glock in plain sight on the back seat with a high-capacity magazine in it. Yeah, that'd be a shock. Also, I must strongly disagree with the article statement. But last month, he walked out of the Ottawa courthouse a free and innocent man after the trial against him collapsed. He was free, but definitely did not seem to be innocent. Keep up the good fight, and where's episode 607? Edmund. Well, Edmund, we're lazy. That's or negligent. I don't know. We're not negligent.
I'm gonna go with negligent. Well,
all right, they're negligent.
Never plead guilty. Never plead guilty. Ian Runco says no. Don't do this.
So he did post an article. I think it was like what was it? It was a CBC article.
State media.
Yeah. No system to track, train lying police. Lawyer says another scathing decision. So if you want to search for that, might even post the link in the comments here.
That is interesting. If they didn't proceed with searching the vehicle, you know, after seeing a handgun with a high capacity magazine in it, for any of our American listeners, I mean, you should know by now, but According to the powers that be, handguns out in the wild in Canada, not cool, but certainly not in the back seat with extended capacity magazines.
So Tony, you got your YouTube up. Go through.
I do.
We got 4 comments this week.
Sweet.
I actually see more. I think Eddie's comment may have just came in.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eddie's got another one.
Did you mention about the Wrangler boss in 357? Okay.
Yep, that was last
So there's
week.
4. Okay, so Evan Engineer commented on 607. Tenda has a wood furnitured version of the Panzerarm M4 Speed Pro in stock for $729 according to the website. I'm looking for the marine version being out here on the salty coast. That'll be a good upgrade for, I think, what's it called? A marine coat, like a nickel finish.
Yeah.
I don't know how you comment on the Panzerarm M4 though.
Yeah. It was in our new gun stuff last week. It's a budget M4. So
It's a budget M4. And 3 comments from Eddie on the last episode from 5 hours ago. We're in time. Not quite a year yet for the new host. Their first official hosting was on episode 566 at the end of July. Yeah, I remember that. It's not quite, but because we're both absent, I actually suggested that joke. I would say they're good additions, but it's up to the veteran host to give them their performance evaluations. we shall. Kyle, if suppressors get removed from the NFA, I would suspect that some of the people already manufactured their own under radar would suddenly become very busy.
Yep.
They already have the knowledge and experience to build them and would just ramp up production since now they're legal to do so. Not all of them might be good quality, but it would flood the market quickly. Yeah. How would having a left side charging handle on the Panzerarms M4 change your procedure from loading from a bolt lock? I assume the loading procedure would be dropping around through the port and hitting the oversized bolt release button, then quad loading.
So I am prepared for this one. I read it ahead of time. So the way he described, if going right-handed, if you do a strong hand reload, yes, that makes sense. So for Dustin, I do have dummy rounds.
Oh, it's appreciated. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're all safe and clear here.
Yep. So
he's in the freedom land, though.
If you are going to, I'm still not going to desk pop in my place. If you're going to do a strong side reload, absolutely. You come up here, drop a shell in, close that, and then continue on with your load. But if you load like I typically do, a weak hand reload, twisting your firearm around to drop that shell into that open port and then come around is awkward. So typically for a weak-handed reload from bolt lock, you would come up, hit your bolt release, continue on with your quad load, get all 4 in, and then as you come down, you hit the shell drop as you rack and chamber your round. Having a left side charge handle, now when you hit the bolt drop, the shell drop, it's not on the same side.
Right.
So you'd have to change how you do that. Probably wouldn't be as big of an issue because you just hit that. And I'm just thinking off the cuff here. As you're coming up, charge it.
Yeah.
But it would change the method on a weak-handed reload. I should specify that on a open bolt reload.
That makes sense.
You're muted, Tony.
Is it only left hand charge, not both hand charge?
No, it's optional. It's optional. It's got the cutout on the side of the receiver that you can go left side or right side charge. So it's just a comment. I like that. And then I added the comment in that it would change the bolt lock reload.
Right, because you're not doing over the shoulder, slap it, quad. It gets the European style shell release makes it interesting because you have to load the whole tube, hit the release, and then rack it.
What do you mean the European style?
As in, if you have a 940, for example, you just quad it full and then you charge it. You don't have a release button for that. When you charge it, it always goes from the tube into the gun. But when you have like a European gun, you'll have a button to release the shells out of the tube instead.
Oh yeah, I think what you're saying. I think I got what you're saying.
Yeah. So I think
And I didn't realize that about the 940s that they automatic.
I think all the American guns, you just load them up full. I think even for the Versamax.
No, Versamax is
No, I
the same
definitely-
mag-
Oh, I did not.
That's why I
know
was
that.
confused by European style. I was like, my gun
Yeah.
doesn't do that.
So like an
Interesting.
A5, a Browning A5 has the auto lifter, what I used to run on this gun. And from that, yeah, you just quad load because with that auto
Right.
lifter, it automatically drops that shell and chambers the round based on the function of that lifter.
Yeah.
I think most other, like, I mean, ones I recall, I didn't know, I'd have to look at like a 940, but I'm pretty sure it's the same thing that just doesn't spit out a shell. But you got to do the shell drop and then rack.
I keep thinking that's, at least anyway, to my knowledge, I keep thinking that's a very much European shotgun only thing. And maybe that's the Mossbergs that did it. Maybe that's the only thing I studied. And I know, like, the Mossberg, it will have a charging handle that only does one job, as in, there's no way to change how it operates. When you rack it, it's always going to pick up a shell. It's always going to send it into the tube. Instead, like a rifle.
I don't like that. I actually like that little. I like mechanically deciding when my action, when when that's doing the thing.
Yeah, it's something I will look into that because on a tube-fed gun, I haven't seen one without an auto lifter that operates in the way that you're talking, Tony.
Yeah. Tony, this is
So that's the key. Tube fed.
Right, right.
Detachable mag. Yeah, absolutely.
That's the 940 is from
Tube.
Well, I'm referencing to is a tube fed gun.
Yeah.
But I could be very wrong on that.
Yeah, I'll do some looking and we will. Yeah. But yeah. I mean, I stay away from 930s and I haven't, after I saw a bunch of them fall apart, I haven't touched 940s. So I am definitely not the Mossberg expert. So
I am a Mossberg fanboy, but only their pump guns.
As I said, for some reason, the 590 sounded very good.
The 590 is very good.
It is very good, but it's just, for some reason, I can tell in the fleet that
I saw
it
that.
sounds different.
I saw that look, Kyle.
Oh. Well, it's hard. It's hard to quad though that gun. I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
say.
no, it's impossible to quad it.
My comment is strictly from a competition mindset.
Yeah.
So
No, it's true.
let's move on. We have one more comment from Eddie here. I think we satisfied the loading thing on the shotgun and hopefully made things more clear for Eddie on exactly what I was talking about.
It's the comment about the Henry X410. It seems to be having odd marketing. I don't recall any pirates using lever action short barrel shotgun. I guess not lever action. It would be using blunderbusses.
It was a novelty gun. It had some cool engraving on it, but it was $1,300. It was
Too much.
Modern pirates
yeah.
in gold.
Pirates would have used that had that been available to them. Let's be
Yes. At that time period, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you to all our commenters and emailers. If you would like to send an email to the show, send it to slamfireradio@gmail.com and we will read it live on the air. With that, if you have any other ideas on how to stay motivated in these tumultuous times, I tried to say a big word, it didn't work.
You got it. You were close.
But send us an email. Give us your thoughts. What keeps you motivated to stay in the shooting sports, or why did you leave? Was it just overwhelmed, or what? Got some sponsor links, so if you're buying something from Cabela's online or Brownells online, you can go to our website, look in the sidebar, you will see some links. It won't cost you anything more, but we'll get a little bit of a kickback from them, and yeah.
Helps keep the lights on around here.
Yeah, it does. You can also go find us on Player and Patreon. And at some point, we will get some Patreon stuff going.
We should.
We will. Yeah, we got to do some stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead into shout-outs. Tony, you got any shout-outs or recommendations?
I will give a shout-out to... Did I talk about the recommendation last time? I forgot. I will give a shout-out to Dustin and Dave for being the worst, trying to ask me to spend a lot of money. It's like, buy this, buy that. No, just buy it. Just buy more.
You said
you're
best
asking the group, what should I do?
Yeah.
Buy the gun.
Yeah.
Buy both guns.
Yes.
I was looking at a Timony Calvin Elite trigger that was $525 for 1022 trigger. That was very expensive.
Yeah,
I might pass for the first time.
Very sweet.
Yeah. I think I did a shout out on the Perf podcast was the two Adams.
Yeah, that was
Adam.
a while ago, yeah.
Yep, but they're still putting on the new content, so good things to listen for. They are pretty diverse in their content, so it doesn't matter what sport you're shooting, you can always absorb some from their show.
Cool.
Dustin.
Yeah, I'm going to shout out to Montana Pete there, my very favorite AD that I think I've ever worked with. Miss you. If you're still watching, I hope we get to work together again sometime soon.
Cool. And my recommendation is to go to your local club or find a club with an event going on and go shoot. Go find a bunch of people and just go shoot.
Yep.
With that, we do have a Discord. It's been mentioned a few times. Tony likes posting stuff up there. He posts stuff from the show. The other rest of us, we post stuff. And yeah, there's always conversation going on there. So find the link in the comments. Go join our Discord server. You can also watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Player. And join the CCFR. And we will see everyone next week. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Kelly.
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.